Michael Jackson's children are no longer the pop icon's little shadows. They're living lives that would shock even the king of pop. Prince, Paris, and Biggie have all stepped into adulthood under intense global scrutiny, each forging paths far beyond the Neverland spotlight. From music ventures to activism and personal milestones, their journeys reveal how fame, legacy, and private struggles have shaped them in 2025. Here's the inside story of their lives today. Prince Michael Jackson. On February 13, 1997, Michael Jackson's life changed forever with the arrival of his first child, Michael Joseph Jackson Jr., in Los Angeles. The baby, born to Jackson and his then-wife Debbie Rowe, carried not only the weight of his father's legendary name, but also the hopes of a man who longed for a sense of family and normalcy. Though christened with his father's full name, he quickly became known by his nickname, Prince Michael Jackson, a title that fans and the media adopted with ease. The king of pop made no secret of the overwhelming joy fatherhood brought him. In a heartfelt statement released after Prince's birth, Jackson expressed the depth of his emotions. "Words can't describe how I feel. I have been blessed beyond comprehension, and I will work tirelessly at being the best father that I can possibly be." For a man who had lived under the constant gaze of the public since childhood, the promise of shielding his son from the glare of the spotlight was deeply personal. "I grew up in a fishbowl," he admitted, "and will not allow the same to happen to my child. Please respect our wishes and give my son his privacy." The newborn was surrounded by a unique circle of love and guardianship from the very start. His godparents were none other than Macaulay Culkin, the child star who had become a close friend of Jackson, and Elizabeth Taylor, the Hollywood icon who had long stood by the singer through both triumphs and controversies. This choice reflected Jackson's wish for his children to be nurtured in an environment of loyalty and trust, far from opportunism and intrusion. Despite the joy surrounding Prince's birth, Jackson's marriage to Rowe was short-lived. The couple divorced in 1999, just 2 years after welcoming their second child, Paris Jackson. While Rowe relinquished her parental rights, Jackson assumed full custody of his 2 children. Determined to give them a childhood different from his own, he raised Prince and Paris within the confines of Neverland Ranch, the sprawling estate that became both their playground and safe haven. There, the children experienced a world filled with animals, amusement park rides, and a degree of freedom Jackson had never known in his youth. Prince's early years, though sheltered, were still marked by the global fascination with his father. Whenever the family ventured out, Michael famously placed veils, masks, or blankets over his children's faces to conceal their identities. While the practice was often ridiculed in the media, Jackson maintained that it was a necessary step to protect them from being recognized and followed. His determination underscored his vow that his children would not endure the same suffocating scrutiny that defined his own life. Everything changed in 2009 when Michael Jackson unexpectedly passed away at the age of 50. The world mourned the loss of an unparalleled entertainer, but for Prince and his siblings, the tragedy was far more intimate, the loss of a father who had been their constant protector. Following his death, the children's care fell to their grandmother, Katherine Jackson, who stepped in to raise them within the larger Jackson family. Despite ongoing legal battles over Michael's estate and the intense public fascination that continued to surround them, Katherine sought to provide stability and normalcy in the wake of immense upheaval. By the time he entered adulthood, Prince Michael Jackson, the eldest son of the king of pop, had already spent years navigating life under the public eye while carving out his own identity. In 2019, he reached a major milestone when he graduated from Loyola Marymount University in Los Angeles with a degree in business administration. For Prince, education was not only about academics, but also about equipping himself with the skills to make an impact beyond the fame attached to his last name. The moment symbolized his determination to step outside of the shadow of his father's superstardom and build a path rooted in purpose, independence, and service. Outside the classroom, Prince found passion in pursuits that showcased his adventurous and creative sides. A devoted motorcycle enthusiast, he launched a YouTube channel where he documents his rides across California's scenic highways. His videos capture not just the thrill of the open road, but also his love for the sense of freedom that comes with riding. Beyond motorcycles, the channel has also featured lighter, personal moments, including film review sessions recorded with his younger brother Biggie Jackson and their cousin Taj Jackson. These uploads gave fans a rare glimpse of the siblings' bond and revealed Prince's down-to-earth personality, marked by humor, curiosity, and a genuine love of storytelling. While pursuing his degree, Prince also embraced another passion: philanthropy. Along with a classmate, he co-founded Heal Los Angeles, a student-led charity inspired by his father's Heal the World Foundation. The organization initially focused on empowering underserved youth through educational programs, but its mission grew as Prince sought to address urgent community needs. The true test of Heal Los Angeles came in 2020, when the COVID-19 pandemic struck. With unemployment soaring and families facing food insecurity, Prince and his team quickly adapted their work. The organization partnered with a meal delivery service to distribute food to those hit hardest by the crisis. For Prince, it was a chance to honor his father's legacy, not through spectacle, but through service. I would like to think that he would be very proud, because I think this was one of his main goals, was not only to spread his message of positivity and happiness, but to see it enacted in his kids, Prince shared in an interview. His reflections during that time revealed not only the influence of Michael Jackson's values, but also the humility with which Prince approached his role. He described the charity as part of a collaborative ecosystem, emphasizing that no single person could solve problems alone. We all need to help each other, and that came from the way that he raised us, he explained. This philosophy resonated deeply with supporters who saw in Prince both echoes of his father's humanitarian spirit and the distinct voice of a young man determined to forge his own path. For Prince Michael Jackson, life has always been defined by the delicate balance of carrying his father's legendary name while learning to navigate his own path. Over the years, he has spoken sparingly about the deeply personal side of growing up as Michael Jackson's eldest son. Yet, on rare occasions, he has shared glimpses of the man behind the myth, the father who shaped him. One such moment came in October 2022, during a celebration marking the 40th anniversary of Thriller, Michael's groundbreaking album that changed the music industry forever. Surrounded by fans, family, and admirers who gathered to honor his father's artistry, Prince offered a heartfelt reflection to People magazine. "I think about him every day," he confessed. While the world remembers Michael Jackson as a performer, the dazzling entertainer with electrifying dance moves and a voice that spanned generations, Prince's memories are more intimate, grounded in the small details of fatherhood. What he missed most, Prince revealed, were his father's hands. He had really strong, really big hands, firm, but they were gentle. "It's tough to explain," he said. It was a strikingly tender observation, one that painted Michael not as an untouchable icon, but as a parent whose physical presence provided comfort and reassurance. Those hands had once guided him, protected him, and symbolized the love of a father whose world revolved around his children. For Prince, their absence remained an enduring void, even more than a decade after Michael's passing. But even as he continues to honor his father's memory, Prince has built a life filled with love, growth, and new beginnings. In August 2025, he marked one of his most joyful milestones yet by announcing his engagement to his longtime girlfriend, Molly. Their relationship had spanned 8 years, a bond forged through shared experiences, travel, education, and personal growth. On Instagram, Prince shared the happy news with a heartfelt message that reflected both gratitude and excitement for the future. 8 years down to go, Molly and I have spent a lot of time together and made incredible memories. We've traveled the world, graduated, and grown so much together. I'm excited for this next chapter in our lives as we continue to grow and make great memories. I love you, Babs. His words radiated warmth and stability, signaling a commitment rooted not in fleeting romance, but in years of deep connection. Paris Jackson. Paris Michael. Katherine Jackson was born on April 3, 1998, in Los Angeles, the second child of Michael Jackson and Debbie Rowe. Her name carried layers of meaning. Paris, after the city where she was conceived, Michael after her father, and Katherine in honor of her grandmother. From birth, Paris was tied to her family's immense legacy, her life unfolding beneath the shadow of one of the most famous men in history. Like her brother Prince, her godparents were actor Macaulay Culkin and Hollywood icon Elizabeth Taylor, figures her father trusted deeply. The course of Paris's childhood was forever altered in 2009, when Michael Jackson passed away unexpectedly. Only 11 years old, she was thrust into the spotlight during her father's memorial service, where her emotional words reminded the world that behind the superstar was a devoted dad. Yet privately, the grief weighed heavily. By her teenage years, Paris struggled deeply with mental health challenges. She later told Rolling Stone that she had attempted suicide multiple times by the age of 15. In 2015, she was hospitalized following another possible attempt. Reflecting in 2018, she admitted, "It was just self-hatred. Low self-esteem, thinking that I couldn't do anything right, not thinking I was worthy of living anymore." Determined to heal, Paris sought help. In 2019, she checked herself into a treatment facility to focus on both her physical and emotional well-being. A source close to her told People, she checked herself into a treatment facility to aid in her wellness plan and is looking forward to coming out of this revitalized and ready to tackle the exciting new projects that await her. Her decision to step back and prioritize recovery was a sign of resilience, echoing her commitment to growth despite years of public scrutiny. Alongside her healing process, Paris rebuilt relationships within her family. She reconnected with her mother, Debbie Rowe, during her teenage years. Their bond developed organically, without pressure or expectation. Speaking on Red Table Talk with Willow Smith, Paris described the relationship warmly. "It's cool. Getting to know her, seeing how similar we are, getting into what kind of music she likes. We look a lot alike. It's just cool having her as a friend. It's very chill, which I love." That's the perfect word to describe it. Her siblings have remained the strongest anchors in her life, especially her older brother Prince Jackson, whom she often refers to as her twin. Their relationship is built on mutual admiration. In 2020, Paris confessed, "He's everything to me, you know. I've always looked up to him and always wanted his approval and everything, and wanted to be more like him." With her youngest brother Biggie, too, Paris has shared a supportive bond, particularly in navigating their family's complicated legacy. As she grew older, Paris also embraced her identity with candor. She has spoken openly about her sexuality, rejecting strict labels. "I wouldn't consider myself bisexual because I've dated more than just men and women," she explained. In 2021, she admitted that discussing sexuality within her religious family had been challenging. "My family is very religious, and a lot of, homosexuality is very taboo, so we don't talk about it, and it's not really accepted. I've gotten to a point where I respect them, and I have love for them. I respect their beliefs. I respect their religion. I'm at a point where to expect them to put aside their culture and their religion. Expectations lead to resentments. What people think about me isn't my business." Her words reflected a maturity hard-earned through struggle, a willingness to live authentically while honoring differences. Like her father, Paris ultimately turned to music as both a calling and an outlet. She has performed with several bands, exploring styles far from the pop empire her family is known for. In 2020, she released her debut solo album, Wilted, a folk-inspired project that highlighted her ethereal voice and introspective songwriting. "Everyone in my family does music. I mean, I'm a Jackson," she joked. "It makes sense that I'm a musician, but like, a Jackson doing folk indie?" The comment underscored her unique journey, part of a dynasty, yet determined to chart her own artistic direction. In the years since launching her career as a musician, Paris Jackson has steadily worked to establish her own artistic identity. On February 24, 2023, she released a new single titled Band-Aid. Speaking with People, Paris described the track as louder and more fun than her earlier releases like Just You and Lighthouse. Yet, even as she experimented with a more dynamic sound, she remained true to her roots. In terms of the songwriting aspect, it's still the same acoustic folk approach that I always take when I'm writing, she explained. The single reflected her growth as a performer, one willing to expand her musical palette while staying anchored in the raw, intimate style that defines her songwriting. Paris also revealed that her ambitions extended far beyond a handful of singles. "I have enough songs that are already recorded and ready to go that would make an album," she said in 2023. "In terms of how many songs I have written, I don't even know how many I have. Dozens. Maybe." For fans, the news stirred excitement, raising anticipation for a full-length project that would showcase Paris's evolving artistry. But Paris has never been confined to one medium. Alongside music, she has built a reputation as a model and actress. She is the face of KVD Beauty, where her striking look and confidence have made her a standout in the world of fashion campaigns. On screen, she has appeared in projects that highlight her versatility, a role in American Horror Story, which let her step into the world of edgy television drama, and a part in Hulu's teen comedy Sex Appeal, which introduced her to a younger mainstream audience. Through these endeavors, Paris has shown a willingness to take risks and explore different forms of expression, reflecting her multifaceted creative spirit. Her fashion presence has also led to memorable moments with her family. In October 2022, she reunited with her aunt, Janet Jackson, at a Fashion Week event in France. Janet posted a photo of the two sitting together on a couch, captioning it, "So good catching up when my beautiful niece at Paris Jackson." Paris responded with a simple black heart emoji, a quiet acknowledgement that resonated with fans who have long been curious about her relationship with the broader Jackson family. Paris's personal life has also attracted attention, often intertwining with her professional pursuits. In December 2024, she announced her engagement to music producer Justin Long. The relationship was celebrated by fans who admired their creative connection and shared passion for music. However, the engagement ultimately did not last. By July 2025, Paris confirmed their split in a candid and vulnerable way. After paparazzi photos surfaced showing her in tears, the Daily Mail speculated about a breakup. Paris responded directly on X, formerly Twitter, acknowledging the truth by admitting she had been crying breakup tears. Her openness, while painful, reflected her commitment to honesty with the public, a hallmark of her approach to fame since she first began speaking about her struggles as a teenager. Biggie Jackson. Of the three children of Michael Jackson, Biggie Jackson has always been the most private. Born in 2002 via surrogate, he was originally named Prince Michael Jackson II. The world, however, quickly came to know him by the nickname Blanket, a name given by his father. Michael explained that it symbolized a gesture of love and protection, but in the public eye it became a point of curiosity and even mockery. As Bigi grew older, he distanced himself from the childhood moniker, and in 2015 he made the choice to legally change his name to Bigi, a symbolic step toward forging his own identity apart from the legacy and spectacle of his father. Unlike his siblings Prince and Paris, Biggie has largely stayed away from the limelight. Still, those who know him describe him as thoughtful, intelligent, and deeply close to his family, especially his older brother. A family friend told People in 2019 that Biggie and Prince are essentially best friends who bond over their shared love of science and sci-fi. Their mutual interests reflect a quieter side of the Jackson children, one less about performance and public life, and more about curiosity, learning, and imagination. Milestones in Biggie's life have been celebrated mostly within the family. In 2020, he marked his 18th birthday with his siblings at a sushi restaurant, a simple gathering that underscored their bond. His sister Paris shared a heartfelt tribute on Instagram, marveling at how quickly her little brother had grown up. "My little brother is a legal adult today. What the f—" she wrote, posting 3 throwback photos of the two together. She reflected on their journey, remembering changing his diapers and now admiring the handsome, intelligent, insightful, funny, and kind young man he had become. Paris also noted his love of privacy, writing, "He likes privacy, so that's all I gotta say. HBD Lil Bro." Her message revealed both the humor and the deep affection that bind the siblings together. Despite his quiet nature, Biggie has not entirely avoided the public eye. In a rare 2021 interview, he opened up about his perspective on life and his hopes for the future. He expressed a desire to follow in his father's footsteps in a way, not necessarily through music or performance, but by making a meaningful contribution. "That's what each of us, siblings, want to do. Make things that people enjoy, but also benefit their lives," he explained. His words highlighted a thoughtful ambition: to use creativity and innovation to bring joy while also addressing the challenges of the world. One issue in particular has captured Biggie's passion: climate change. Unlike many young people who shy away from weighty global conversations, Biggie has spoken clearly about the urgency of the crisis. "I do think it's important we all know about it. We have some work to do, but our generation knows how important it is," he said in the same interview. His concern for the environment and commitment to awareness showed not only his sense of responsibility, but also a generational outlook shaped by activism and global awareness. What do you think about Michael Jackson's children? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this, and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.